Do I have places? Great. Deck crew, are you ready? Great. Spots ready? Okay. Sound? Fantastic. All right, lights one, go.
We're very pleased with the results from our 2017-2018 season. We feel like it was a success both financially and artistically, and we're thrilled that audiences seem to agree with us. We broke a lot of records at the box office. Annie was the most successful non-holiday musical that we've ever produced, and both of the plays that we had were also the best in their respective slots.
So I was kind of in this ragtag theater mode, and I got cast as Hannigan, as Miss Hannigan in Annie, and the rest was kind of amazing. I kind of come from the background of the ragtag avant-garde groups, having to do your own lights and build your own sets and write your own music and write your own cues. So to go in there and in that beautiful theater, it's just magic. It's a blessing, really.
As a part of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat here at Booth Tarkington Civic Theater, one of the best parts was all of the people I got to meet. All of the cast members, all of the crew members, the wonderful artistic team that was behind it. It's frankly unmatched in my experience, and I still get to talk with those people, still get to hang out with them after the show's over, and I consider myself a part of the Tarkington community now.
So working in a show that had such strong female characters was really a wonderful experience. Of course, you would think with a Jane Austen piece that it was women were very repressed during this time in history, but it was, with this particular adaptation, it's really about these women who are trying to navigate through society as women and how they do that. Civic just really is so very caring and so very attentive with their actors and making sure that we get what we need, that we have a positive experience when we are trying to navigate through this play, through this adaptation. It was really, really great.
I think from an audience member's perspective, the unique thing about Sense and Sensibility would probably most be the small amount of actors portraying a large number of roles, and that was certainly something that was very fun for all of us. There's another unique element to any adaptation, I understand, by Kate Hamill, and that's an element of whimsy. If you saw the production, you're most likely going to remember that the actors were barking dogs during one scene, or we had one particular gentleman who was a scene stealer every time he played the horse, or we would make the bed standing up with, you know, some different props. Just little cute touches like that that really lightened up what can be a pretty heavy production.
I was in 2 of the plays this year at Civic. One, Sense and Sensibility, and then there were none. With John Goodson, it was very much a 3-hour playtime every day in the rehearsal room, which was fantastic and lovely, and it was very freeing. And it was a major collaboration of everyone in the room, and especially with how theatrical Sense and Sensibility was written and how it was. With Chuck, because it was so realistic and representational in how it was written, and because of the intimate space and not a lot of movement, Chuck knew exactly what he wanted and told us exactly what was needed to happen on stage. So it was 2 completely different styles of directing that both worked really well. And I mean, John and Chuck have been in the business forever, and it was awesome to work with such high professional caliber of directors.
Managing my time as a volunteer actor with many other obligations. I don't know if there's a particular secret to it. I guess just for me, knowing that I'm doing theater because I love it. That's always why I've done theater. I think of it as a passion. I love being able to be part of theater in whatever way that means. I jump at opportunities to be part of as many things as I can because I just adore it. And this has been a fantastic opportunity to be part of civic theater, which I'd never done before.
Tracy was never a dream role for me. I learned about the show when I was a senior in high school, and it was kind of like, okay, well, this is the age that I am now is the age that Tracy is. So if I were ever going to play this, it would have to be now. Fast forward 15 years and I'm 32 years old, just having wrapped up being Tracy, double the age of the character. So it was just a lot of fun to be able to reach back into the depths of my immaturity and be Tracy Turnblad.
I would say that the hardest part about playing Amber Von Tussle in Hairspray is just taking on the hatred from the audience. This is the first time I've played like intense villain before, and she's awful too. Like, she's so mean and so gross, and you just hate her as an audience member. But that's what you're supposed to do. Anne and Michael were really great at helping me get over that, because they would just be like, it's farce, it's farce. So Anne and Michael would always do a really good job of just kind of pushing me and being like, let's make her worse, let's make her worse. You just really gotta hate her to really drive the show. And so they did a good job of just pushing me out of my comfort zone, helping me to realize like, we want to dislike this person.
Combat was very unique because there were only 7 people, whereas Hairspray and Joseph were at least 20 people or more, so it's kind of like very, very intimate, very small setting. And the rehearsal was a lot. We rehearsed for a lot less time. I think we only had 6 rehearsals than we put on the show. So it's kind of like a little bit more of like a time crunch, which was kind of a little bit harder, but also really fun and kind of challenging, but also really rewarding to see it in the end. When I played the cat, I would have to say the thing that was most rewarding was the after show, which is kind of like the show ended, and then we got to say goodbye to the kids that came, and it was just so cool to see like the kids' faces light up. And they were super excited that the cat was like, actually, oh my gosh, like the cat's here. And it was like, oh my gosh, that's me. And it was like, oh my gosh, that's great.
I got interested in Yap because I started doing the workshops and I loved them automatically, and I wanted to audition for the shows. My advice for young performers wanting to get involved in community theater is to take advantage of all the workshops and auditions, because it's the best way to get plugged in.
The staff, the parents, and the community actors at Civic Theater have always been so welcoming and encouraging. I'm glad to be a part of that community now and be able to encourage others and contribute to the family that is Civic Theater. Civic Theater Guild's mission is to support Civic Theater's educational programs for all ages. We plan to do that by building a community of support and outreach and helping to enhance our fundraising activities, our volunteering, and our community awareness.
I love Junior Civic. I started there when I was 4. My first instructor was Mrs. Peggy. She was awesome. I love Act 1 because at the end of the season, you get to go on this big trip on a bus with Mr. Marty and Miss Holly. And you get to know them really, really well.
Junior Civic is over 75 years old.
And we've been here for 74 of those years.
I feel I have been here for at least 76. We are so proud and happy to be continuing the legacy, and through many locations and iterations, and we now have a solid program that is the largest classroom-based theater education program in the state of Indiana. For many years now I've had our outreach program, Drama Works, under which fall a few different things, and the big one that we've been focusing on this year is Story Time, which has been in existence for 5-6 years now.
So Peggy Cranfield and I worked on that and developed it together, the curriculum. We bring local actors and performers in, and they go through a training process so that there are certain points that we do hit with the kids. So we share the story, and then they tell it back to us, and then we talk about a certain vocabulary word. We talk about what if we took the middle of the story and changed that out? What would the ending be? But the really exciting thing that's happened recently is Peyton Manning Children's Hospital reached out to us and wanted us to come and do something with them, just with the kids. Well, Story Time was the perfect thing to just pick up and plop right in there. And then what's really great are the kids will come to us, but they're also going to film it and be able to send it out to all rooms in the hospital. So if a child is unable to come physically and be with us, they can still experience that. So we're really thrilled about that.
We look forward to the 2018-2019 season, and we hope you'll join us.